Rise above your limits. 10 life truths that will awaken your power. Prologue. The day you decide to rise. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow, deep breath. Now imagine this. It's early morning. The sky is still dark, the air cold and silent. You stand alone, on the edge of something you can't yet name. You feel tired, maybe even lost. You've been trying to move forward, but the world keeps pushing back. And yet, deep inside, there's something that refuses to die. A quiet voice whispering, "You were made for more." That voice is your inner mentor, the part of you that knows you can rise again, no matter how heavy life feels. It's not shouting, it's waiting for you to listen. Today, you begin that journey, not of motivation, but of transformation. A journey where each truth is a mirror showing you what you already carry inside. This is not a speech. This is a conversation between who you are and who you are becoming. Let's begin. Truth 1. Pain is your teacher. Let's talk honestly. Pain hurts. It burns. It breaks. It takes away your breath. But here's the paradox that most people never understand. Pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to develop you. You see, pain is life's way of getting your attention. It's the universe whispering, "Wake up. You've outgrown this version of yourself." When my first business failed, I was furious. I blamed the economy, bad luck, other people, everything except myself. But one day a mentor said something that pierced through all my excuses. He said, "You're not failing. You're being taught. The question is, are you listening?" And that line changed my life. Because pain is not punishment. It's feedback. It's life saying, "You're ready to learn something deeper." Lesson. Pain will keep visiting your life until you finally learn what it came to teach you. Maybe you're being tested to build strength. Maybe you're being stripped of what you don't need to make space for what you do. Maybe your heart is being broken so it can open wider. Whatever the reason, understand this. You cannot grow without discomfort. The wound is the place where the light enters you. What pain in your life are you trying to avoid or ignore? What if, instead of running, you faced it and asked, "What are you here to teach me?" What version of you is waiting on the other side of this struggle? Don't let pain make you bitter. Let it make you better. When you turn your pain into purpose, you stop being a victim and become a warrior.
Truth 2. Discipline builds destiny. Let me tell you something that most people never want to hear. Your future is not built by motivation. It's built by discipline. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but dies fast. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement fades. You will never always be motivated, but you must always be disciplined. Think of a sculptor. Every day he faces a block of stone. He could walk away. He could say, "Not today." But he doesn't. He lifts his tools and chips away, one small strike at a time. He doesn't see beauty immediately, but he believes it's there, hidden inside the stone. That's discipline. Doing what needs to be done even when no one's watching, even when nothing seems to change. Lesson. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Every early morning you choose progress over comfort. You lay one more brick on that bridge. Every time you resist the temptation to quit, you add strength to your foundation. People ask, how do I stay disciplined? The answer is simple. Stop waiting to feel ready. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll spend your life waiting. Story. A young athlete once asked his coach, "How can I become the best when I'm tired and unmotivated?" The coach replied, "Champions are built on the days they don't want to train, but train anyway." And that's the truth. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Where in your life are you relying too much on feelings and not enough on discipline? What one habit, if practiced daily, could completely change your next year? Are you controlling your time, or is your time controlling you? Every small action matters. Every repetition rewires your mind. If you train discipline today, destiny will thank you tomorrow. You can't always choose your circumstances, but you can choose your consistency. And that's what builds your future.
Truth 3. Failure is not the end. Let's be honest. Failure feels terrible. It crushes your confidence and fills your head with questions. What if I'm not good enough? What if I never make it? But here's the truth that every successful person eventually learns. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the path to it. You fail because you try. And that already makes you different from the millions who don't. When you fail, life isn't saying stop. It's saying adjust. Think about a GPS system. When you take the wrong turn, it doesn't scream, "You're a loser!" It calmly says, "Recalculating." That's what failure does. It redirects you toward growth, if you listen. Lesson. Every time you fail, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. Failure is simply the process of removing what doesn't work, so that only what works remains. Edison failed over 1,000 times before he made the light bulb. When people asked how he kept going, he said, "I didn't fail. I discovered 1,000 ways that didn't work." That's not luck. That's mindset. Ask yourself, when was the last time you allowed yourself to fail without judgment? Because the truth is, you can't grow inside your comfort zone. You learn by doing, stumbling, and recalibrating. Don't be afraid to look foolish. Be afraid to stay the same. What have you avoided trying because you're scared of failing? If you knew failure was part of the process, what would you finally start today? What lesson from your last failure could become your next success? Failure doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means you're alive. It means you're learning. So, keep moving. Keep building. Because every time you rise after falling, you're proving that resilience runs in your blood. Truth 4. You become what you believe. Sit with this for a second. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are what you believe about yourself. Everything begins with belief. Every victory, every failure, every act of courage. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you believe you are small, your actions will stay small. If you believe you are strong, your behavior begins to follow. Your life expands or contracts to the size of your faith. When I was younger, I used to say, I'll be successful once I see proof that I can. But that mindset kept me waiting for years. Then one day, an older man told me, "Son, you've got it backward. The world doesn't give you proof first, it gives you tests. You must believe before you see." That hit me hard, because I realized I'd been waiting for permission from a world that was never going to give it. From that day, I started believing like it was already mine. I walked differently. I spoke differently. And slowly, the world adjusted to match my belief. Lesson. Belief is not pretending. It's choosing a direction for your mind and heart even before results appear. When you say, "I can't," your brain shuts down. When you say, "How can I?" your brain starts searching for answers. The difference between impossible and possible is one decision: to believe. There's a story about two seeds buried side by side in the soil. One seed said, "It's too cold. I'll wait until it's safer." The other seed said, "I don't know what's above me, but I'll rise anyway." Days later, the second seed pushed through the soil and saw the sun. The first seed was eaten by the worm. You see, belief isn't comfort. It's courage. It's the voice that says, "I don't know what's next, but I'll rise anyway." What limiting belief is holding you back from your next level? Who told you you couldn't, and why do you still believe them? If you replaced every doubt with curiosity, what could you achieve in 1 year? Your outer world is a mirror of your inner world. You can't build a powerful life with weak beliefs. So stop saying, "I'm not enough." Start saying, "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm rising." Because you always become what you believe. Truth 5. Your environment shapes your future. Let's talk about the air you breathe. Not just physical air, but mental air. Your environment is that invisible force shaping your thoughts, habits, and confidence. If you hang around 5 confident people, you'll become the 6th. If you hang around 5 lazy people, you'll become the 6th. You don't even notice it at first, but over time, your environment becomes your reflection. I once mentored a young man. Talented, passionate, but stuck. He told me, "I try to improve, but I always end up back where I started." So I asked, "Who are your friends?" He laughed and said, "Just some guys from my old neighborhood." I said, "Do they challenge you?" He shook his head. "Not really. We mostly hang out, complain, play games." I looked at him and said, "Then you're not stuck, you're being held." He went silent. And that silence was the beginning of his awakening. Months later, he started spending time with new people. Builders, dreamers, disciplined minds. And guess what? His life started changing. Lesson: you become what you constantly consume. The voices you hear, the people you trust, the spaces you enter. If you stay in an environment where growth is mocked and excuses are praised, you'll shrink to fit it. But if you step into rooms where excellence is the norm, you'll stretch yourself to rise. Story: an eagle raised among chickens believed it couldn't fly. It scratched the ground, ate like them, and lived small. One day, another eagle saw it and said, "You were born for the sky." The chicken eagle laughed and said, "No, I can't fly." The next morning, the eagle pushed it off a cliff. It screamed until instinct took over. Then it spread its wings and realized it had always known how. Who are you spending your time with? The chickens or the eagles? Do your surroundings encourage your dreams or your doubts? What kind of energy fills your space? Growth or gossip? Focus or fear? Protect your environment like it's sacred. Because it is. You can't heal in the same place that broke you. And you can't grow where no one believes in growth. Sometimes you don't need to change your goals. You just need to change your environment.
Truth 6. Silence is power. The world today worships noise. Everyone wants to be heard, seen, followed, validated, but few ever learn the strength of silence. Silence isn't weakness, it's clarity. The lion doesn't need to roar to prove it's a lion. True power moves quietly. It observes, it calculates, it acts when the moment is right. There was a time when I used to respond to every insult, defend every mistake, explain every action. I wasted hours, even days, trying to prove myself to people who didn't even want to understand me. Then, I learned something simple but life-changing. Never explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Since then, I started practicing silence, not as avoidance, but as strength. Because silence keeps your energy pure. It protects your focus from chaos. Lesson: silence gives you control over your emotions. When you pause, you take power back from anger, fear, or insecurity. When you speak less, you listen more. And when you listen more, you see more. You start noticing people's true intentions. You begin to read energy instead of words. Story? There's a reason martial artists meditate before battle, to empty the mind. Because when you are calm, you can see what chaos hides. Think of water. When it's turbulent, you see only distortion. But when it's still, it reflects everything clearly. That's silence, the stillness that lets you see truth. How often do you react instead of respond? What could change if you paused before speaking or acting? When was the last time you sat in complete silence? No phone, no music, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Silence isn't emptiness, it's energy. It's the space where wisdom whispers. Don't waste your power proving yourself. Let your results speak. Let your peace speak. When others scream for attention, stay grounded, stay silent, stay strong. Silence is not the absence of sound. It's the presence of strength.
Truth 7. Time is your most precious currency. You can earn back money. You can rebuild reputation. But you will never get back time. Every sunrise is a reminder that the clock is running, not against you, but for you, if you learn how to use it. You will never change your life until you change how you spend your time. When I was in my 20s, I wasted countless hours, scrolling, waiting, dreaming, talking. I thought I had forever. Then one day my father told me, "Son, time doesn't ask for your permission. It just passes." Those words haunted me, and then they changed me. I started looking at my calendar not as a list of tasks, but as a mirror of my values. If I said I wanted success, but spent my evenings complaining, my calendar called me a liar. If I said I wanted peace, but filled my days with noise, my habits betrayed me. Lesson: time is not something you manage, it's something you honor. Every yes to one thing is a no to something else. So, choose carefully. Who deserves your hours? What deserves your mornings? Which dreams deserve your nights? Because every minute you waste is a piece of your future that disappears forever. Story. There's a story of a man who asked a monk, "How much time do I have left?" The monk replied, "Enough to become who you were meant to be, if you start today." That's the secret. Start today. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for permission. The moment you realize that your time is your life, every second becomes sacred. If you died 1 year from now, how would you spend your time differently today? What habits are stealing your future? What are you saying yes to that doesn't serve your growth? You're not running out of time, you're running out of excuses. Value your minutes. They are the building blocks of your destiny. Truth 8. You are worthy, even before you prove it. Listen carefully. This one may save years of your life. You do not earn your worth through success, beauty, or achievement. You were born with it. You are worthy not because of what you do, but because of what you are, a human being with infinite potential. You don't need to prove your value, you just need to remember it. I've seen brilliant people destroy themselves chasing validation. They wanted to be seen, praised, loved, but they forgot to love themselves first. One of my students once said, "I'll feel enough when I get that job." Then she got it and still felt empty. So I told her, "You can't fill a broken cup by pouring from the outside. You must repair it from within." And that's what worthiness is. Not an award, but an awareness. Lesson. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. When you believe you're enough, you stop chasing and start creating. When you value your peace, you stop begging for attention. When you respect your boundaries, you attract those who respect them too. Story. There's a story of a diamond lying in the mud. A traveler passed by, saw it covered in dirt, and said, "It's worthless." But a jeweler walked by later, picked it up, cleaned it, and said, "This is priceless." The diamond didn't change, only the eyes looking at it did. So stop letting blind people tell you how much you shine. Where in your life are you trading your worth for approval? What would change if you started speaking to yourself like someone you love? Are you chasing validation or living from self-respect? You were not born to beg for love or permission. You were born to embody confidence, to walk with quiet dignity, and to know your worth before anyone else does. You are enough. Always have been, always will be.
Truth 9. Your resilience is your superpower. Pain is not the enemy. It's your teacher, a sculptor carving strength into your soul. Every hardship, every loss, every disappointment is shaping you into someone more capable than before. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. When I was younger, I thought strength meant never breaking. Now I know strength means breaking and rebuilding. Every time life knocks you down,
you face a choice. Will you stay there and call it defeat, or will you rise and call it experience? Resilience doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It means trusting that you'll survive even when it's not. Lesson: life isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to make you ready. Think about the strongest trees. Their roots run deep because of the storms, not in spite of them. Every challenge you face is an invitation to rise higher, to grow thicker skin and deeper wisdom. Story: there was once a blacksmith who heated iron in fire, then hammered it until it took shape. Someone asked, "Why do you hurt the metal so much?" The blacksmith smiled and said, "Without the fire, it stays weak. Without the blows, it never becomes a sword." That's you. Life is the forge, pain is the fire, and resilience is what turns you into steel. What was the hardest thing you've ever survived? And what did it teach you? When was the last time you gave yourself credit for not giving up? How would your life change if you saw every setback as training instead of punishment? You are stronger than the pain that tried to break you. You are wiser than the mistakes that tried to define you. And you are braver than the fears that tried to silence you. Don't run from your struggles. Use them. Forge them into armor. Because your resilience is your superpower.
Truth 10. Purpose is everything. And now we arrive at the final truth, the one that ties all others together. Purpose. Without purpose, even success feels empty. With purpose, even pain feels meaningful. He who has a why can bear almost any how. Nietzsche. Purpose gives direction to your suffering, meaning to your mistakes, and strength to your journey. You're not here by accident. You were born at this time, in this place, with your exact talents and struggles, for a reason. The problem is, most people don't live. They just exist. They wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. They never stop to ask, what was I made for? But when you find that why, everything changes. You stop chasing pleasure and start building legacy. Lesson: purpose doesn't always appear in a flash of light. Sometimes it whispers. It shows up in what breaks your heart and what sets your soul on fire. Maybe your purpose is to teach, to build, to serve, to create, to lead, to heal. Maybe it's to live with such courage that others believe they can too. Your purpose is not just what you do, it's what you become while doing it. Story: there was a candle in a dark room, feeling useless. It said, "What's the point? I'm so small." Then someone lit it, and the candle realized that even a single flame can destroy darkness. You are that flame. The world is waiting for your light. What makes you come alive, not what makes you comfortable? When do you feel most aligned, most authentic, most you? How could your pain become your purpose, your message to the world? Final words. My friend, your life is not an accident. It's a mission. You have been tested, broken, healed, and rebuilt for a reason. Every scar has made you wiser. Every loss has sharpened your vision. And every moment has led you here, to this truth. You were never meant
to live ordinary. You were meant to rise. So rise above your limits. Rise beyond fear. Rise until your life becomes proof that greatness was always within you. You are the author of your story. Write it with courage, live it with fire, and end it with pride. If today was your beginning, not your continuation, what kind of person would you decide to become? Because the moment you choose to rise, your real life begins.
If this video inspired you or helped you learn something new, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Motivation to Study English for 30 minutes every day. Your support is the energy that keeps us creating better and more meaningful videos every single day.